Hi everyone, my name is Ben James and I am from Sylvan Lake, Alberta, Canada. And the reason I'm doing this video is to maybe help other people be aware of how it works when you hurt your Achilles tendon. So this video is to get the word out about it, and I guess to kind of, I'm going to put a few videos together so that people can kind of see what I'm going to have to go through. So I'm just going to start off by kind of explaining the injury and what happened, and then kind of take it from there. So this is day 8 of my injury. I hurt it last Sunday playing slow pitch, just doing a normal thing, just running after I hit a ball, rounding first and running to second. When I hit the second base, I heard a pop. Didn't actually know it was a pop from me or the bag or what. Continued to run. Felt something was a little bit wrong with the way my foot was running with the rest of me. Wasn't keeping up. I actually looked behind because I thought I was dragging the base behind, and then looked down and my foot was kind of flopping and doing something a little weird. And that was about halfway to third base, and by that time I kind of dropped and started to feel the pain. It wasn't as bad a pain as maybe rolling an ankle, which I've done. I've done some pretty bad ankle rolls before, and it slowly progressed and got worse and worse as I was sitting there. The pop was heard from, I guess, some of the benches, and definitely from the home plate guys, umpire. So it was loud enough, and I kind of figured right away I might have ripped my Achilles tendon right off. But so anyways, we didn't take the shoe off, which is important. Don't take your shoe off, even if it's a break or an ankle injury of any sort. Try and leave your shoe on. Try and tape it up if you can. If somebody's got some tape there, to tape it to kind of support it while you go to the hospital. Drove to the hospital. I didn't have to wait long because of the type of injury I had, which was nice. And basically, nurses kind of looked after me right away. And then I waited for an orthopedic surgeon to get out of surgery to come take a look at my Achilles tendon. They did some tests. They basically rolled me on my belly. Actually, no, that's not true. That was later. At the hospital, they got me to kneel on a chair, basically like this. And then they were able to do a flex test and test both legs to kind of see the difference. And result was that yes, I could move my foot, which I was really impressed with because I hadn't really moved it since I sat down on the ground on the ball diamonds. So I could move my foot, I don't know, 1.5, 2 inches. I had no gas pedal power though. Like when she applied pressure, I couldn't push down. So it was kind of a good sign that my Achilles tendon wasn't tore right off, which obviously may or may not be a good thing depending on maybe some of your feedback. So from there, the orthopedic surgeon, this was on a Sunday, sent me to a specialist on Monday. So they half casted me with the half cast that I have now, and told me that I'd probably need an air boot. So I found myself, my father had an air boot, so I made sure I brought that with me. I was on crutches. I grabbed some crutches, and then went to a specialist on the Monday morning. That specialist did basically the same sort of examinations, only a little bit different positions. Got me on my belly instead to do the tests, and confirmed that it is still attached by doing that. Didn't really have any other big comments other than that we knew it was a tear and not detached, and said that all my options are surgery or no surgery, and basically sort of stated that there's a 5 to 15% chance that if I go through surgery I could end up better off, but it's on the lower end of that. It's about a 5%, closer to the 5% chance that it's going to result in a better situation for my Achilles tendon. If it was tore right off, obviously we would be doing surgery. But that question got brought up relatively quickly to me to make that decision, and I wasn't really sure. So I said, yeah, I don't want to have to do surgery if it's possible that the healing process, which will take the same amount of time as surgery, if there's less risk, obviously, then of infection and stuff like that. So I chose not to do it, and basically was told, okay, well, we'll put you in an air cast. We'll put some wedges in, 3 wedges to keep my foot, kind of in a position. It's, as you can see here, it's in a long position, not a upright position like this. In comparison, my foot's sitting like that. So that was all good. As I was about to leave, I kind of asked, well, should there not be like an x-ray or something just to confirm how that goes? And the specialist at that point did do an x-ray just to check to make sure none of the bones were interrupted or wrecked, or I don't know what he used for words, but just to make sure everything was all good there. You can't see the Achilles tendon, and you can't see obviously much with the muscles in that x-ray, so I guess I didn't really think about that at the time. I was still, and by the way, in a lot of pain. So I didn't really care. I just wanted to know what the end result was going to be. So he sent me on my way home, said there was nothing wrong in the x-ray. At that point, I thought that was it. It was going to be 6 months of recovery, 6 weeks in an air cast. I didn't need to use crutches at that point. They had recommended literally less than 24 hours later that I could walk on it on an air cast. Didn't know any different, so that's where it stayed. I happened to meet up with a chiropractor friend of mine who just went through the same thing a year ago and told me, this was 3 days later, had him on a Monday, met him on a Thursday, and he mentioned, did they talk about getting a ultrasound done, anything like that? And I said, no, I didn't know an ultrasound was needed. And he said, absolutely, go get recommended an ultrasound. So that Friday morning, I called my doctor's office and got to see a doctor who then could refer me to get an ultrasound done. Ultrasound was booked for today, which is Monday of the following week. So I now have been on this injury for 8 days. Ultrasound came back with a high level tear. She basically said it's hanging on by a thread. So this is where, like, I guess why I wanted to do this. I'm in a fairly small community, if you don't know where Sylvan Lake is, and even central Alberta, Red Deer and surrounding area, it's like 130,000 people. I play slow pitch. I'm in that group, that family. I play volleyball. I do a lot of water sports, so I know lots of people, and I think this is why I wanted to do this, because it's important that I know other people will end up with this injury over the course of the next few years, and it'll be somebody that knows somebody that knew me that said to, maybe watch my videos to see the progression. So getting an ultrasound, first of all, is super important if you know and feel like your tear is severe. I never thought of that. I never even knew that was something I could have done. So getting that ultrasound and finding out that it is a high level tear kind of ticks me off. It kind of ticks me off that I wasn't even given the opportunity to ask for that, or to have that information given to me from the specialist, from the doctors. I think that's super important. So again, that's why I'm doing these videos. So I'm going to kind of show you the progression as we go. This is the evening of the ultrasound. I have to meet now with specialists, hopefully tomorrow or in the next day, to determine, I guess, the surgery and what the plan is from there. So I'm gonna keep you updated as we go. I actually hope to even maybe potentially have a camera in the surgery to kind of show you guys how bad my Achilles tendon really was. So stay tuned, and thanks for listening.